as a coach, with as bad as things or as rough as things were early on, how gratifying for you is it just to see the way this defense has come together the last couple of months?
Well, it's been a lot of hard work. The guys have really put in the time and the work. It's been one of those seasons where, you have to have the tough times to really enjoy the good times and really understand where you start and where you finish are not the same place. And the guys have really developed. They've really come into their own. Everybody has a great understanding of what their role is. They have a great vision of the type of team and type of group they want to be. And it's all coming together at the right time.
We heard from you, we heard from Pete, we heard from the leaders like Bobby and KJ that it was going to turn. What did you see to give you confidence in that when maybe the numbers weren't showing it?
Well, you just have to play the game long enough. And if you watch the games, the numbers were not telling the story. The guys would play fantastic football for 3 quarters, and then we'd be up so many points, and all of a sudden, it wasn't as sharp as it needed to be. It was a matter of playing a full game. It's a matter of being consistent. It's a matter of the right players and the right group staying together and, having a constant one set of guys, and, it's a revolving door by different guys coming in. But at the end of the day, it's about playing ball the right way, doing right longer. And you just have to take your hats off to the guys of believing, understanding the scheme, really not taking anything and just deciding the type of team they wanted to be and type of commitment that they put to it. And now all their hard work is paying off.
Ben Arthur.
Hey, Ken, what do you think maybe your father taught you about dealing with criticism that has maybe helped you deal with all the outside noise that comes with being a defensive coordinator in the NFL?
Well, it's just, like we mentioned before, being a part of his career from birth all the way to middle school. 1 week, he gets knocked out and everybody hates him and the whole world saying he should retire. And then the next week he breaks Ali's jaw and he's the toast of the town and he's the baddest man on the planet. And that works down to me. And as I'm growing up through school, 1 week, I'm in front of the line in the lunchroom, and the next week, that we have an assembly about my father and how he needs to quit fighting and change trainers and things like that. So it's just time on task. It's just setting a great example. It's just really understanding and believing in in your skills, the confidence, and just working. And then having a fighter's blood, you have to just continue to fight, keep your hands up, and just stay on course.
Thank you.
Matt Hawkins.
Hey, Coach. Bobby obviously is a pretty complete player. Not a whole lot of areas he needs to improve on, but I'm just wondering if there's one thing that you saw this year that was different from years past that he's doing, where he's coming to his own and improved in a certain area.
Well, he's like you said, he's been the complete player. He's continually getting better and better. At a time in careers where most players aren't getting better, Bobby's still ascending. He's a quarterback on the field. He has a great understanding of where everybody's supposed to be. He has a lot of responsibility on getting the call in, getting everybody lined up, and then being able to get his game together. And then he's the leader. He's the spokesman. He does the motivational speech in the locker room. This guy has a lot of hats, and he's really grown into being a fantastic leader, player, man, those type of things. And his game is continually growing, and it's really great to see him become the player and the man he is.
Bob Condotta.
Yeah, Ken, was there one or two things you guys really did better in this game against the Rams on Sunday than maybe you've done in past games against them?
Well, we kept them out of the end zone. Anytime you have a team that has been a prolific scorer, especially against us, they've been averaging over 20 points. Every time we played them the last few years since I've been here. This time we were able to keep them out of the end zone, something that we were really working hard on. The guys have really, took into the responsibility. They really made it a decision and commitment on just doing things right, executing, playing at a high level, being really consistent and finishing. We talked a lot about finishing, the season, the job, the game, in the NFC West, and they were just focused and determined on performing at a high level for whole 60 minutes. So the main thing I would say is consistency, not giving up a touchdown. That's really hard to do, especially against a team like that, and making that decision to be that type of club.
Brady.
Hey, Ken, what else do you remember about watching some of those fights, the Ali fight, the Foreman fight? If my math is right, you would have been just a young kid at that time, right?
Yes, 1973 was his first fight against Ali in San Diego, and I was born in '66, so I was a youngster, and going all the way through the rematch and the highs and the lows, and I'm the little kid. He was a single parent at the time, so I was just a single kid rolling around with Dad, just learning the ins and outs, learning the business, learning the toughness, him being a sparring partner early on, and just some weekends we eat, sometimes we don't. But at the same time, you just have to keep on fighting. You have to have a lot of belief in yourself, a lot of confidence in who you are, and have a nice tight circle of people that you trust. You can't you can't talk to everybody, you can't trust everybody, but you have a few tight circle of guys and people that you trust, and you have a certain purpose. You have to believe in your purpose, and you cannot be deterred.
A few weeks ago, you told us about learning to deal with adversity by watching your dad lose a fight. Was that the Foreman fight you were referring to?
Well, he lost Foreman, Ernie Shavers. He lost a few fights, 2 Ali fights. There were a few fights that he lost. He won quite a few of them, but there were the losses were the toughest because the people around were the ones who responded more so than we did at home. But all of them were hard. And when you're involved as a son and family, the families take a lot of the toughness. They take a lot of the heartache and the pain and deal with the public a whole lot more than the actual athlete does. So it's harder on the families. And being a single parent and being a single kid at the time, it was a learning process. That now, as an adult and going through my own career, and now as a coach, now you see how those things have all prepared me for the position I'm in.
Do you follow boxing still?
Absolutely.
Who's your guy?
Well, the boxing is different. It was fun to see Tyson, fight, Roy Jones again, because that's kind of the old school guys. But I'm just a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of the footwork and the how there's so many things that carry over to the football and the mind frame and the confidence and the ability to be a really tough guy. But I'm just a fan of the sport itself and no one particular person.
Thanks. I want to ask you about Nate Robinson and the other guy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Ken, what have you learned about and perhaps grown to like about the way DJ Reed is built mentally?
Well, it's that's a really fun guy to talk about. He's so focused. He's so determined. He's really has a high IQ. He has a high ideal of himself. He's so confident in his ability. You can tell by the way he studies, the way he asks questions, and the way he really focuses on the answer, and then how he turns it into, great plays on the field. He really gets focused on game. He really understands the receivers and the coverages that we're running, and it's just fun to watch him grow and play, and then just and be the type of player he is. He's been really, really great surprise for us, really impact player, and really excited, the games that he plays and things he's been able to do.
I'm going to pose that same question. Oh, man. That caught me off guard. I want to pose that same question to you about the mental makeup of Jordan Brooks and what you've grown to know and maybe to like about how he's built there.
Well, that's a little different because Jordan is a rookie, and everything's new for him. And he's kind of learning the highs and lows and the way the pros work, the way we practice, how to turn in our walkthrough practices and the non-contact practices, all the mental, all the Zoom, and then turn it into a physical day on Sunday. So those things for him is a learning experience. He has to act like a rookie. At the same time, he has to act like a starter. At the same time, he has Bobby and KJ and Jamal and Diggs, all these great veterans to learn from. At the same time, he wants to be himself. So it's so many different dynamics he's going through. Now you can tell at the end of the season he's really starting to come into his own. He's playing a lot more. In a team like this that we're playing that plays a lot of base personnel where he plays mostly at his, his time to play, you should see him a lot more. So he's only tip of the iceberg. This kid he has a lot to give, and he's just getting started.
I know, aside from keeping them out of the end zone, was there one thing you particularly loved about rewatching the goal line stand?
In a career, in a player's career, you don't get many goal line stands. It doesn't happen that way. But anytime you get the chance to hold them on first down, second down, third down, and it's just 1 inch, and everybody has a certain role to play. And anytime you get involved in something like that, you don't forget that. You don't forget that. And the guys understand that. And that was a great moment for our confidence, great moment for the ability to keep a team like that out of the end zone. It's something that, I'll never forget and they'll never forget.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.